Hey everyone, this is Trebus coming at you with some breaking Diablo 3 news coming from the recent Diablo 3 press event. Blizzard has just dropped a bombshell on the community with their recent announcement of the new auction house system. While it's always been assumed that Diablo would assist trading through an auction house, at their press event they revealed the existence of actually two auction houses. One for buying and selling with in-game gold, as we're used to doing in things like World of Warcraft, and one for using actual real-world money. That's right. Take a second to breathe that in real quick. Real-world money for buying and selling Diablo 3 items. Now, before you go running around your house just breaking everything in sight, either out of excitement or hatred, let's look at the system a little bit more. Let's see why they did it and how it's going to work. In interviews with the developers, they were saying that one of the reasons they decided to use a real-world currency auction house is because there was already a demand for this that they could see in Diablo 2. There were websites out there where you could buy and sell Diablo 2 items with real-world money, so they would rather create a more secure experience that's actually contained within the game, rather than send people that want to do this to what is essentially a black market site to go buy and sell items. It's a much less secure experience and not as easy for anyone. This is also a good way for them to create some sustainable income for once the game releases, people have bought it, it's a way for them to continue making money on the game so they can continue to support it. You can see in games like Blizzard that have a subscription fee, obviously they're able to support it because of that subscription fee and have lots of support years after the game releases. Hopefully, using the real-world currency and the real-world auction house, they'll be able to do the same thing for Diablo. Now, if you want to know exactly how much money Blizzard is planning on making and how they're trying to make this money on the currency, keep watching. We're going to talk about how the auction house works in a little more detail. Now, the way you interact with the auction house is actually going to be pretty much the same whether you're using the real currency auction house or just the gold auction house, and it's going to function pretty similarly to WoW, where you'll just basically have a couple things. You'll set the minimum bid, possibly a buyout price if you want to do that, and then each auction will have a certain amount of time, and at the end, whoever wins gets the item. Items will be sold directly from the stash, and this is a shared stash that is shared throughout all of your characters, so every character has access to it, and you'll actually even be able to buy and sell things through the auction house, not even when you're logged in with a character. So when you're just logged in to your account, but not in the game world, that's when you'll be interacting with the auction house. Any item can be sold on either auction house, so there's no such thing as an item that will only be sold on the real world currency house, so you don't ever have to worry about that. Pretty much every item should be on every single auction house. They'll also be locked by region. So people in Europe will not see the same auction house as the people in North America, for example. They haven't said exactly what the regions are going to be, but we're pretty much assuming it's going to be the same thing as the servers. So possibly continent-wide or just country-wide. We're just going to have to see. The last feature that they announced that's actually pretty cool is called smart searching. And you know, there's going to be tons and tons of items on the auction house, and so they introduced smart searching as a way to help you find the items that best fit your character. And basically what it's going to be able to do is it's going to be able to look at your characters, see the kind of skills and attributes and traits you're looking for, and then it will search the auction house specifically for things that fit that character. So that'll be nice for, you know, trying to find specific items and not having to browse through every single item on the auction house. Now let's talk a little bit about how the actual real money auction house is going to function. In terms of getting your money in and out of the system, it's a little bit complex, but here's basically how it's going to be. They're going to have a third-party system, something like PayPal, that you can use to actually get money into what's called your Battle.net balance. And this Battle.net balance is the money that you use to bid on items on the auction house. Now, through this third-party system, you can add money to the Battle.net balance, but you can't take money from that balance and then translate that into real-world money. Now, what they are going to allow you to do, there is going to be what they call a cash out option, and this is going to be, again, through that third party. So how it's going to work is whenever you put an item on the auction house, you're going to specify whether the money from that auction, the sales from that auction, are going to go to your Battle.net balance or to this third party balance. And then once it's in the third party balance, then you'll be able to take it out and use it to buy another copy of Diablo 3, so you can give it to everyone you know. Essentially what they're trying to do with that is they're trying to keep money that goes into the auction house into that battle.net balance. I think they're hoping that money put in will just stay into the system and continue to get recirculated, because it kind of discourages you a little bit from using that third-party system, because you can't actually use that money in the game. And also, kind of explained it already, but money from your battle.net account can't be transferred to that third-party account. As far as what's in this for Blizzard, basically each item that you put on the real currency auction house is going to take a flat rate fee, and that's going to be the money that Blizzard makes from each transaction. In the interviews, they were very specific to say that they decided to take a flat rate fee versus some kind of percentage, because they wanted players to know that they don't have a vested interest in the price of items going up. If they took a percentage, then obviously they would want prices of everything to be up so that they could get more money. So they're just going to take a flat rate fee. Now, what they didn't mention in that is that it's kind of the same scenario, except instead of wanting the prices of individual items to be higher, they now have a vested interest in just the number of items on the auction house being higher, because the more number of transactions, the more number of this flat rate fee that they're going to get. They also have plans, and this is good for people that don't actually want to invest money into the auction house and just want to take some out. They have plans to give people a number of free auction house transactions per week. So you'll never actually have to put in your credit card number to up that battle.net balance so you can put an item on the house. You'll have a small number of those that you can just use for free. Also important is that the fee that they take, this flat rate fee, is taken regardless of whether or not the item sells. So if you overprice something and it doesn't get sold, you still pay the fee. Blizzard was also very adamant to say that they are not going to be selling items directly through the auction house. They've said that they want everything to be very player driven. The economy of Diablo 3 is very, very important, and they want to have their hands off of that as much as possible. So all prices and things like that are going to be driven by players. They also noted that there is going to be no real currency auction house for hardcore players. I think they're just a little worried about people getting too invested in their hardcore characters and spending real money on something, and then as soon as they take it away, obviously everyone's going to cry. So they're just trying to avoid something like that, and I can't really blame them. That's it for now on the Diablo 3 auction house. There was a lot of information coming out in the past day, so please subscribe to my channel for more information, and if you want to learn more, there's actually a really great write-up on everything that happened at the press event at DiabloFans.com. Great website, go check them out. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. See you later. GG!